Hello and welcome. In this video we're going to take a look at building the Circuitmess Wheelson. Unfortunately, during the build you will see that the wheels won't stay on and the perspex here breaks, which stops us assembling it correctly. After many emails for Wheelson, they've sent me another set of wheels and a replacement piece for the side. So I'm going to show you the build now. We'll come back and we'll put the I'll put the replacement side on and then we'll fit the wheels and see whether that actually resolves the problem. So here's the video of us building it, and we'll be back with you in a minute. It was filmed in HD rather than 4K, so it has been upscaled. Hello and welcome. We've got another Circuitmess build today. We have the Wheelson. It comes with a blue ball. Okay, so if we have a look on the back, it's assemble your own car. It has built-in Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. You can connect it to the interface and interface with other stuff. It's got computer vision processing, quite a lot of preloaded features, and one of the other things that it will do that I found out recently is the Bike Boy, which is the next kit, is actually able to control the Wheelson. So this is the first build today. Let's see what's in the box. Okay, on first inspection we've got a creator's booklet, bit of background information, some pictures. Okay, now what is nice is they are giving us a link here to the build instructions. These are the stem boxes. These are stem boxes. We've got this stem box, we've got the Bike Boy, and we're going to have a couple of these. I'm not quite sure which ones we're getting next. We paid for 3. Bit of a warning leaflet. That's nice to see. There was no warnings in the previous one that we built, along with the power supply that we felt was going to electrocute everybody. Got 4 motors, 5-volt cable, and various parts, board, a screen, battery, control board, which looks like it's got its Bluetooth and wireless modules on it. Yeah, it's a Bluetooth wireless module. I'll bring that into a position where you can see some of the writing on it. Obviously we've got to put buttons on here and some instruction cards of some description. Connectors, various parts. Okay, let's get a pot. See what's in here. Okay, so we've got various switches, a couple of LEDs, a couple of resistors, some sockets, and a header of some description that have got to be soldered in. Some little mountings, they look pretty cool. Lids for the buttons. Open this one. Sorry if you've got headphones on, I know the crinkling of plastic sounds awful. Lots of bolts and 4 lots of wires. I would say that those cables most likely solder onto the little motor units. It's going to quite cool. We've got 4 wheels. So I think the next job for me is I'm going to go and find the instructions for this and see what they are. I'll be back in a minute. From an electronics point of view then, we've got a lithium polymer battery, the board, we've got a little camera on the end of here, LCD screen, this little bracket for some lighting. We've got a few buttons here. I mean, we've got 2, 4, 6, 7 buttons, some connectors that are going to be, I would guess, for the motor and the battery, or just for the motor. This, which I reckon is going to be for the screen, and a couple of resistors. Now, what I'm pleased to see with this one over the last one that I built, which was the Nibble, is this has got a downloadable PDF in multiple languages. So rather than having to rely on having a computer in front of you to follow the instructions on, you can now download and print the instructions yourself, which is what we've just done. So as soon as they're finished coming out the printer, we shall do some assembly. So as we can see here, we've got quite a nice, well presented instruction book. It's 60 odd pages. I'm not going to go through it with you step by step. What we'll do is we'll go through the build and I'll take my prompts from this. So there's suggestions of a few tools that could be useful: soldering iron, pair of cutters, pair of long nose pliers, a little screwdriver, obviously some solder, a desoldering tool for if you make mistakes, and a sand and a swab. So that's kind of quite cool. It's a Phillips screwdriver that they're saying. It also covers what parts you need. It's really quite a nice build. Since you could use one of them, we're not going to use it. A bit of tips on soldering. So now just plug the soldering iron in. Now it suggests that we should use a 250-degree temperature on the soldering iron. So let's give this a go. I normally run in the 400s myself, so we'll give that a go. I'll just set my iron to 250C. Now, first thing you have to do is unplug the board. Unplug the battery. Okay, so we can get the board. Whoa. That's tight, that is. I'm a little concerned that I'm going to destroy the plug. Okay, just come out. It's very tight. I'll put that to one side. So the camera on the board is delicate, so please be careful. So unplug the battery. It says to be gentle with the connectors. So okay, so we've got here the first step, which is to put these plugs in here. So we're going to look at this setup here, which is how it wants us to set them up. On the back here. And when we're doing these, what's interesting is we've got the gap here. So on the first ones, on the one row, the gap goes facing down. A bit more light on. And now what you've got to watch out for is this plug for the lights. The pins go the opposite way round, so you end up with a situation where these two here, the gap in them is facing each other. That light's causing too much reflection. This gap here, they're facing each other, as you can see. I'm just going to do a zoom on that. So you can see here that when we look at these pair here, they're facing each other. So these are down, these ones face each other. So I'm going to flip this over and we'll solder it. Have a look, see. Right, it's 250C. This iron is not having it. So I'm going to turn it back up to 450. Now the reason I've done that as well is I am using leaded solder. It's possible that they've been using some low temperature solder, which I haven't got. Let's wait for this to warm up. There we go. Let's see if that gives us a better result. Yep. This seems to be soldering quite nicely. Again, another board by Circuitmess. It's soldering easily. I think that's wonderful. Maybe a good idea to put this under the camera. Okay. Okay, so there we go. They've gone in beautifully. Joints have gone on perfectly first time. Again, another real nice quality board. So I'm just going to go and see what it suggests we do next. Solder. Well, we've done that. Okay, so next part we're going to do is we're going to fit the power switch. Now my power switches actually come with some bent pins. I'm going to straighten them back out. Also, what I will sort of point out is in the diagram it's a 45-degree switch. This one isn't. So hopefully it won't be a problem. There we go, just pushes in, flip it over, and we've got 5 pins to solder here. The end ones will take a bit more heating. Knock 5 degrees C off the iron doing them. Up, up, up. There we go. Beautiful. I'm going to put a bit more solder on these two. You know, really, really nice to solder again. These boards are a pleasure. Okay, so we're going to put the buttons in from this side. Again, the buttons will only actually go in one way. which is really nice. If you try and put them in with the wires top and bottom, look, they just don't fit. Okay, they got it really nice. Comes with a spare button as well if you mess up. There we go then. So now we can see this group of pins, and again, absolutely beautiful soldering again. Gone in nice, and as you saw, that soldered really quickly, no issues. I don't like that joint. I'm going to put a bit more solder on that one there. That's just me personally. There's potential. Here you go. Right, let's put the tops on. Let's plush into place. Okie dokie. Okay, they're nice biggies. Wants us to solder the headers on and to keep it perpendicular. There's all sorts of tips, but you've got to keep it square to the screen. There's various different ways of doing this. I like the method of putting something under the other end, and I can just adjust it. Once you've done your first joint, see, that's not square now. I'm just going to warm that up and set that square. Now I can run down the rest, starting at the other end. Solder them in. There we go. So far on this step, we've got a screw through there and a spacer here. Slightly fiddly, but see where the other two go. I'm just going to turn it over. Okay, so we can see this here. That's what we're trying to copy. Okay, so now we've got the same as they got. So we won't change it like that. It is only going to go in one place. So put that in, turn it over, and we'll bang some nuts on there. Okay, tighten the nuts, solder it on. Okay, there we go. All done. Next step is motors. All 4 irons are like this, so when we set them like this, we want the red wire on the left and we want the cables facing us. A little bit of tarnishing on these. Okay. So do one of these, I'll do the rest off camera. So on the left hand side we're going to put the red, on the right hand side we're going to put the black. That's what we're after. Okay, next job is to build this up. The polarity is important. When we put this one in, the notch must be in the opposite way to that. And when you turn it over on this one, it falls out, so it doesn't grip as well as on the other board. Just to be aware. There we go. Ooh, let me focus that. Okay, I put my finger on it to hold it down. Solder them on. Okay, so the resistors are going to go on this side of the board. Don't be concerned if the wires cross over like that when you put them through. It often happens. And a quick solder. Very nice. Snip snip, spin it round, use a pair of cutters and cut them off flush. Just like that. Okay. Okay, LEDs. When we look at when we feel the LEDs, when we look at the back of an LED, if I can just get it in the camera right, there's a flat bit there. The flat bit goes next to the flat bit on the drawing. Okay. Now, the other thing you can look at is the long wire on the LED. The long wire on the LED is the opposite side to the flat bit. So again, flip it over, solder it in. I'm going to hold it level as I solder it. So I want the LEDs to be square. So I'm just going to put a bit of solder on each one. Hold the LEDs in place, and then I'm going to pick it up and I'm just going to square up the LEDs before I solder the other pin. Okay, same with this end. Yeah, don't touch the soldering iron. Okay. Again, cutters in, cut them off flush. Put that to one side, and I think that is the soldering done. Next thing, to unpack this. We've got some CNC cut stuff by the looks of it, or with laser cut. The instructions tells us that we should have 3 pieces, and there may be some clear stuff to pull off. So I'm just going to pull the cover off. As per the instructive. Oh, this does not want to come off, but it's there. As you can see there, look. Just need to get a corner and we're good. Okay, so that's the covering off. We'll put that in the bin. We're going to start off with one of these two pieces. They're actually both identical. Get a motor. Motor goes in there. And there's a tab on the motor. Oh, I see. That goes there. And there's a tab on the motor that lines up. See that there? Okay. We'll put a couple of screws in. A couple of nuts on the back. Just tighten them up. Step one. Okay, so we're going to do the same here. Okay, obviously that will make one side, so then we've got to do the other side in exactly the same manner, and I'll come back when I've done that. Next thing we need is the cover. And the battery. So what it wants us to do is face that way, take the sticker off and stick the battery onto there like that. Okay, so next up comes assembly. I'm going to plug that into there. Next up, we get the camera, and it wants us to peel the sticker off here. Just that one there. And we get this circuit board here, this way round. Now, on the instructions it shows this all printed on the back here with Circuitmess stuff, but it's not. He wants us to stick that on there as squarely as we can. Okay. Flip it over. Take this off here. Let's stick the camera on there. It hasn't told me to peel that off, but I'm going to do it while I think about it. Okay, so we're going to now put the sides together. So I'm going to put these out the way. And it wants me to go through this hole here with a screw onto one of these. So I'm going to put that together like that, nip that up, job done. Got to put the wheels on next. Wheels, they just push on. Thusly, and we end up with that. So, I'm going to put this to one side again, and we're going to get the board back. Now, it's telling us that we need to connect this to here. Only goes in one way, so it's nice and easy. We'll put the wheels on the other side. I'm going to apologise about the depth of focus. In advance, because I feel like I should know better. Right, okay, so we're going to now plug the battery back in, and we have that set up there. A set of wheels like this, and it suggests that we put the battery in there. Bit tight this is, you know. Better look at this. Hang on, we've still got some plastic on here. That's not going to help with tolerances. That goes into here. Okay, like that. I'm going to take the wheels off just to give me some room. The circuit board then goes in and the camera goes in. So the circuit board slots into the large slot there, as you can see here. Again, I have to say, this is incredibly tight. I'm putting a lot of force on this, and for me, I don't like putting force on electronics. Let's see. It appears that on this one we've got here, the front of the slot's big enough, but the back's not. And the circuit board just does not want to go in easily. Crikey. Okay, I think I'm going to have to probably file that. It just really just does not want to go in. No, I've done it. No, I broke it. Okay, that That's a letdown, that is. Well, we'll continue to assemble it on the other side and see what happens. I'm a bit gutted about that. Going to be an email to Circuitmess, that is, and I'll send them this video to watch. Okay, so it says, when looking at the Wheelson from the top of the casing, the wheels attached to it on the right hand side. The first photo on the left of the photo is the so when you've got it like that, okay, the motor on the left should be connected to the front right. Okay, so this motor is front right, the second motor should be connected to back right. Okay, okie dokie, so we're going to put the other side on. Hopefully don't destroy the thing in the process. Again, I'm just going to take the wheels out of the way for a minute. So this wheel here is the back wheel, so that's going to be the back left and the back right. So then we got to put this lot together the other way like this. I really am hoping that this board will slide into this side and we can actually get some purchase on it. Yes, that one's gone in beautifully. And that's gone in beautifully. Feed this round. Obviously the board's only partly in because of that little issue. I've forgotten to put this piece in here. Okay. And put the screw in here. This should hold the two halves together according to form. And obviously on mine I've got my board floating around because of the brake, and there we go. This thing's actually quite awesome. A little camera mounts on the front, so we can see. Again, I'm having some tolerance issues with the hole cutting and the boards, because this here, it won't go in. It goes in at the bottom. It goes in at the bottom here, but I can't get it to go in this top slot. It'll go in the top slot on the left, but again, the one that broke on me, it just will not go into that top slot. So I think we're just going to have to go with it as it is. Yeah, it's just going to keep falling apart, I think. So I put the base in. Again, that was a little tight. And put the wheels back on it. So there's the Wheelson in one piece. We'll take that off there. And basically, what I've got to do now is charge it. Right, so the Wheelson's been on charge for a little bit. Let's turn her on. Okay, so it wants us to press. Come on, let's press any buttons. Okay, so up should be front right motor. That appears to be the back left motor. Okay, so the up should be the front right. Right should be back right. Down should be back left. So what I've done, I've got the front and rear motors backwards. So I'll press back. There we go, look, the Wheelson. Okay, let's transfer. So as you've seen, we built this and there's been some problems with it because of this one piece of plastic failing. So let's see if the replacement that they've sent will solve the problem. Just going to put these motors back in place. That's one in. This whole Circuitmess thing with this particular build has been going on for probably the best part of a year. I've been back and forwards with problems with it, so not the best. Well, let's see. Will the circuit board going without breaking? Because this is where it broke last time. Just about, very tight, but it's gone in. Okay, there goes the battery holder. final piece to go back in will be the bracket for the camera. Okay, that's gone in. Let's put the screw back in place. Okay, brilliant. That at least gives us a coherent vehicle. It's now in one piece. These are the new wheels, the yellow. Hopefully they click in place. You hear that? So these yellow wheels, when you put them on, go with a click and lock in. Whereas the red wheels that they provided didn't click and just fell off. That's absolutely wonderful. Wheelson complete. Unfortunately, it needs charging before we can go any further, but I've got to say that they gave us the bits to complete it. We've been able to put the last bits and pieces on and complete the model, so kudos to them for actually giving us the bits. What I will do at some point in time is we'll do another video with the nibble or the circuit bite. There's one of the boards that are built previously that will actually control this as a remote control, so I'll do a video and show the two of those working together. But for today's video, we've finally succeeded in putting this back together. The new wheels work, so if you've got these red wheels and they're falling off, this is your problem. Get in touch with Circuitmess. They need to send you the remanufactured wheels they've done, the replacement wheels they go on, and they stay on. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, and have a look at some of the other videos. There's various different things we've done, and hit the subscribe, the bell, and all the other bits. Thank you.